What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a beginner's glutes and abs workout. If we've not met before, my name is Margaret. If you are watching this video on Tuesday, welcome to day 2 of our beginner Pilates series for the month of June. Hope you're excited. Again, I'm gonna link the warm-up from last month up in the card, so you can go ahead and start with that if that's where you wanna start. If not, we'll do a quick warm-up and then we'll go ahead and get into things. If you wanna come to a comfortable seated position on your mat, we'll start with a little bit of breathing. Start by taking a nice deep inhale. You can pull your shoulders up towards your ears, kind of scrunch everything up. And big exhale, we'll drop the shoulders down and back. Let all that air go. 3 more like that. We'll inhale to bring the shoulders up. Exhale, we'll drop the shoulders down and back. And we'll do 2 more. Inhale to bring the shoulders up. Exhale to drop them down and back. Good, last one. Good. From here, we'll bring the legs out in front of us. I want you to bring your hands behind you. Just start by dropping your knees from side to side. Take a couple deep breaths. Good. Okay. Now, when you're ready, I want you to walk your feet out a little bit wider. We're going to work on making a shin or a box with the shins, just moving over towards the right. So hands can stay back behind you. We're just going to inhale, drop both knees over towards the right as we push pressure into the right hip. Good, coming back through center. We'll just keep moving over towards the right. Maybe feel a little bit of a stretch in the hips. We'll do 2 more like that. And last one. Good, we'll take it up through center, bring it over the other way. And you may have to adjust the positioning of your feet. I always find for me a little bit of a wider stance works best, but I just want you to start to move a little bit in the hips, see how things feel. And it may not look like mine looks, and that's okay. My hips are like weirdly flexible, so for me this is no big deal, but if your hips are a little bit tighter, this might be a little more challenging. That's okay. We'll do 1 more. Good, and then we'll swing the legs around. We're gonna bring everything down to the mat. Good, and we're gonna start off just with taking some crunches, kind of like what we did yesterday. I want you to lift the arms up over the shoulders, feet about hips distance apart. We'll exhale to crunch up through the head, neck, and shoulders. Imagine you're pushing down water so your hands come out by your hips. Good, we'll inhale to lower everything back down, stopping the hands right above your shoulders. Good, as we crunch up, you think about peeling up through the upper body, pointing your gaze down towards the belly button or even right to the tops of your legs. We try to get the chin parallel to the ground. Good. Two more like this. We'll change some things up. This will be 2. And last one. Good. When you come down, I want you to lift your, lift your left knee so it comes up above your hip. Right foot's gonna stay down. I want you to take the left hand behind the head, keep the right arm up over your shoulder, and now we'll exhale to crunch and reach the right hand towards the outside of the left leg. We'll inhale to lower everything back down. Now the left shoulder is gonna stay down on the mat. I just want you to focus on lifting the right shoulder, thinking about pulling the bottom of the rib cage on the right side to the top of the hip on the right, finding the hip rib connection. Good, just think about a diagonal line going across the body as you crunch up. Now, if you're feeling good here, you want a little bit more. Every time you come down to the mat, we'll extend the arm and the leg. As you crunch, we bend the knee in as we crunch across. If you want to do that, that's totally cool. If that's not for you, if you're still feeling like moving the leg makes it a little bit too challenging, keep the leg right where it's at. You can also bring your left foot all the way down to the mat. Just see how that feels. Good. We're going to do 2 more like this and then hit the other side. This will be 2. And last one. Good, everything's gonna come down, switch out the legs, left foot comes down, right knee's gonna lift up above the hip. This time, right hand comes behind the head, left arm reaches up over the shoulder. We exhale to crunch and reach the left hand towards the outside of the right leg. Inhale to lower things down. I want you to try and press evenly through both of your hips. Press down a little bit through the left heel to help you find some stability. And as we crunch up, we're really just focusing on lifting that left shoulder off of the mat. You can even put a little bit of pressure into the right shoulder to maybe help you crunch up a little bit higher. Same thing as the first side. If you're feeling good here, go ahead and extend the arm and the leg back as you lower down. Crunch everything in, get a little bit deeper into that crunch as you come up. If that's for you, go ahead and keep moving there. If moving the leg makes it too complicated, you don't have to do it. Good, we'll do 2 more like this. This will be 2. And last one. Good, everything's gonna come down, feet come down to that mat. I want you to reach your hands up over your shoulders. Knees are gonna be about hips distance apart and feet are gonna stay down on the mat for right now. You can stack your hands on top of each other. I like left on top of right, but it doesn't really matter. On your exhale, we're gonna crunch up and reach the hands through center. Exhale, crunch and reach those fingertips right towards whatever's in front of you. Inhale, we'll lower it down. As we crunch up, thinking about pulling hips to ribs, we find a really deep squeeze through the front of the body. And you might be able to get up a little bit higher in your crunch than you just were in your oblique crunches. Totally fine. Maybe you're able to get up to the base of your shoulder blades, but also maybe not. Just kind of depends on how you're feeling, how warm you are, and how crunches feel in your body. Good, we're gonna do 3 more like this. This will be 3. This will be 2. And last one. Good, everything's gonna come down. I want you to drop your hands down by your sides. Press the palms down, the triceps down, the backs of the shoulders down. We'll reset the feet so we're about hips distance apart. And if you joined me last month for our Beginners Pilates series on the Glutes and Abs Day, of course, we have to do glute bridges, we have to. So we're going to revisit those. Heels down on your mat. I want you to exhale to tuck hips to ribs. So find that neutral pelvis. We'll start to roll the hips up so you come up to the top of a bridge. Inhale at the top to pause, and we'll take another big exhale, tuck and roll all the way back down. We're just gonna do 3 like that so we can get a little bit of movement in the low body. This will be 3. This will be 2. Good, last one, I want you to press the hips up, hold it up at the top. Just take a deep breath. We'll take some little tiny pulses, moving the hips 1 inch down and 1 inch up. Super small, slow and controlled. Every time we move, you think about pulling heels to glutes so you feel that really strong connection to your hamstrings. Good, 3 more like this. This will be 3. This will be 2. Good, last one. We're gonna roll the hips all the way down. Take a breath and we'll adjust the positioning of the feet. I want you to bring your heels together, turn your toes out. We're gonna press into the heels, keeping the toes lifted. So we find a Pilates V position with the feet. When you're ready, same thing. We're gonna exhale, push into the heels, tilt the hips up and under to press up into a bridge. Pause at the top, another big exhale, we roll the hips all the way down. Now, if feet together made things a little bit too wobbly or having the toes lifted makes it too wobbly, plant the feet down, take it from there, see if that changes things, see how that feels. And if you need to separate the heels a little bit, that's okay too. Just try to keep the little turnout of the toes. The turnout helps us to open up at the hips. It doesn't make things any easier, but just gives us a little bit more room to move within our hips. Also helps us to get into the inner thighs just a little bit. Good. As you get to the top, you can squeeze a little bit through the glutes. That's where we're gonna feel the glutes working. We'll do 2 more and then we'll hold up at the top. This will be 2. Last one, we're gonna hold it up. Good. All we're gonna do here is squeeze the knees 1 inch in and 1 inch out. Super small movement. It's like you're holding on to a little ball in between your legs or squeezing on that ball and then releasing. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. Good. Everything lowers down, hips drop down. We'll hug the knees into the chest. Just rock the hips side to side. Take a breath. We have 1 more little push in this glute bridge series. We're gonna work single leg just a little bit. It's not gonna be anything too crazy. I want you to bring your feet back down to your mat. We're gonna start by lifting the right heel off of the mat. So right toes touch down, but you're pretty light on the right toes. On your exhale, we tuck the tailbone under, we roll the hips up into a bridge. We pause at the top, Take another big exhale, roll the hips all the way down. Now, if you feel okay with your heel being lifted, if lifting the right heel is like no big deal, I want you to lift the right knee up above the hip. Take it from there, see how that feels, see how that changes things. You're always welcome to come back down and just tap those toes down. Good, we do 2 more here, and then we hold up at the top. This will be 2. Last one, we press up and hold it there. Your knees either right up above your hip or your toe stays down on the ground. We'll take little tiny pulses, moving 1 inch down and 1 inch up. Good, super small, slow control just for 4 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. Good, drop the right heel, lower everything down. Take a breath, we'll do that same thing on the left. Lifting the left heel, keeping the left toes down. We'll exhale, tuck hips to ribs, roll the hips up, find that highest point. Inhale to pause, exhale, we roll it all the way back down. Now again, same thing with the first side. If you feel okay here, if maybe balance isn't a big deal for you, left knee can lift up above the hip and you can take it from there. The goal here is to continue to move slowly and with control. So if lifting the left knee throws off your whole bridge, bring the toes back down. That's fine. Not everything has to be like the hardest possible thing that you can do. Right, we're in a beginner Pilates series, so I want you to be able to feel like you can do the exercises, but still give you a little bit of a challenge. We'll do 2 more, then we hold up at the top, that's 2. And last one, we hold it up, take a deep breath, little tiny pulses, 1 inch down and 1 inch up. Keep breathing. And maybe you have that left knee up above the hip, you're pulsing from there. That's gonna get you a little bit deeper into that right side. 4 more, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good, everything comes down, lower the hips, hug your knees into your chest, rock the hips from side to side. Take a nice deep breath. Good. From here, I want you to bring your feet all the way out in front of you. We're gonna take just 1 roll up to get ourselves up. So reach those arms up overhead. We'll exhale, lift the arms up above the shoulders, tuck chin to chest, start to roll yourself up. Come up through a seated position and then reach forward for those toes. Take a forward fold. Good. From here, we are going to swing the legs around and we'll come up into a tabletop position. To me, glutes and abs almost always means glute bridges and tabletop work. That is like my understanding of it. I think these are always gonna be the best exercises to help you get into the backside of your body and into your core. Okay, so I want you to set up in a tabletop position. We're just gonna start by taking a couple rounds of cat-cow to release the spine a little bit. Inhale, we'll dip the belly down, opening up at the chest, drawing the shoulder blades together. Exhale, we'll push into the palms of the hands, curve the spine up. 2 more like that. Good, once you've taken that second one, reset into your neutral tabletop. We'll get the wrists right underneath the shoulders and then the knees right underneath the hips. And what we'll do here is start by kicking your right leg back. All we're gonna do is exhale to pull that knee in underneath the hip, kind of drive it in towards your belly button. Inhale to kick it back out. We'll start moving with just the leg. And I want you to focus on trying to feel that connection into your low abs. So we pull everything in. Think about literally pulling your belly button to your spine. Good. Okay, if you feel good here, you don't have to do it, but you have the option. You can extend the left arm forward, take a knee to elbow crunch. It gets challenging, so if it's not for you, just keep moving through the leg. Focus on finding that deep pull at the low belly. I know for me, sometimes it's too much, okay? So do what you can do. We'll do 2 more like this. This will be 2. And last one. Good, I want you to bring your right knee back in, bend the knee, flex the foot. On your exhale, we open the right knee out towards the right side of the room. Inhale, we'll close it back down. Good, keep breathing. Good, we'll do 2 more here and then we're gonna hold 2. And last one, hold it there, little tiny pulses, 1 inch in and 1 inch out. Good, 1 inch in, 1 inch out, super small. Slow controlled for 3 more. 3, 2, last one. Good, right leg comes in. We have 1 more push on this side. I want you to push the right leg back. Flex the foot, exhale, we'll lift. Inhale, we'll lower. Think about initiating this movement straight from your hips. So you feel that squeeze at your glute. Four more here. This will be 4, 3, 2, last one. Right leg comes in. I want you to take a child's pose. Press your hips to your heels. Reach the arms long in front of you. Get a little release at the wrist. Maybe take a couple circles through the wrist, whatever feels good. When you're ready, we'll reset into that tabletop position. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and now we'll start to move with the left leg. So push that right leg back, or the left leg back, what I just said. We're gonna exhale to bend at the knee, pull the knee just about in towards your chest so we feel that engagement through the low belly. Inhale to push it back out. Now tabletop work, it doesn't have to be a big movement. You're gonna hear me say that 1,000 times. Not every movement has to be the biggest possible movement that you can do. There's really a lot of power in the small movements, but especially here, I want you to focus more on connecting your mind with your muscle. So feeling that engagement through the low belly, because very easily we could just push the leg out and pull it in. We don't get a whole lot of work out of this if we're just moving haphazardly and quickly. So really focus on drawing belly button in, pushing things out. If you want to add in with the right arm, you're more than welcome to. We'll open things out. Inhale, push it out. Exhale, we draw everything in, crunching knee to elbow. That gets tricky, so the fun part about the challenge is you can always try it and bail. That's fine. Good, we'll do 2 more like this. This will be 2. And last one. We'll bring that left knee in, keep the knee bent, flex your foot. Now we'll exhale, open the left knee out towards the side. Take a fire hydrant. Take some deep breaths. Three more. 3, 2, and last one. We hold it there, tiny pulses, 1 inch out and 1 inch in. 1 inch out, good. Just for 2, 2, and last one, good. We'll shoot the left leg all the way back, flex the foot, exhale, we'll lift. Inhale, we'll lower. Check in with the rest of your tabletop. If you feel like you're leaning all the way over into the right, we need to readjust. I'd recommend walking the hands out a little bit wider than your shoulders, just so you have a bigger base of stability to work with. And then check in with the left hip. It doesn't have to be a big movement. So as we lift the leg, if you feel your low back dipping, if you look like this, we've gone too far, right? It's tiny. 2 more. 2. And last one, we bring that left knee in. Again, press the hips to the heels, take a child's pose, reach those fingertips nice and long in front of you. Take a deep breath. Whew. Okay. From here, we are going to set up into a high plank. So I'm gonna give you 2 options with that high plank. If you wanna tuck the toes under and start there, that works. If you wanna bring the knees down, take a modified plank, that is perfect too. However you wanna take that plank, all we're gonna do is take a leg pull front to specify. So we're gonna exhale, flex the foot, drive the heel up, bring it down, same thing on the other side. Exhale, flex and lift. Inhale, bring it down. Same thing down from the knees. We're gonna point the leg back, lift and lower, bring it in. Point it back, lift and lower. The difference is gonna be if you're in a high plank, you flex the foot. If you're on the knees, I want you to point your toe to lift. Good, we'll do 2 more each side. 2, and 2. Last one, and last one. Good, drop the knees down, press the hips back again. Big child's pose, maybe a couple circles through the wrists. Whew, take a deep breath. Good. Okay, from here we're gonna come back up through that tabletop position. I want you to step your right leg forward. We're gonna take a couple stretches and then I'll leave ya. Hands frame the right foot, and I want you to walk your hands up towards the top of your right leg. Gentle pressure into that right quad. Push the chest forward a little bit, open up through the back. Deep breath here. Good, and on your next inhale, we'll bring those hands back down to frame the right foot, walk that right leg back, same thing on the left. Step the left foot forward, find that nice low lunge, and then walk your hands to the top of your left leg. Whoop, don't fall over though. Gentle pressure into the quad on your left side, open up at the front of your hip, open the chest. Deep breath. On your inhale, we walk those hands back down. Swing that left leg back and we'll push the hips to the heels, swing the legs around so we come into a seated position. We'll take one more stretch and then I'll leave you. Just a quick figure four. Left foot stays down. We'll cross the right ankle over the top of the left knee. Think about pressing up and away from the mat so you spread the collarbone nice and wide. I couldn't think of the word. I was gonna say spread the chest, but that sounds a little bit weird. We're just gonna hold here for 3, for 2, and 1. Switch out the legs, right foot down, cross the left ankle over the top of the knee, push up and away from the mat. Take some deep breaths. We'll hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Bring that left leg down. You can come back into your seated position, however you want to do that. And that's where I'm gonna leave you. Again, I will link last month's cool down up in the cards. You can go ahead and do that if you feel like you need a little bit more of a stretch. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Remember, you're awesome. You can do anything you put your mind to. See you tomorrow. I just can't resist you. You got me drunk in love, drunk